Aloha everybody, Kai Waza with you. Welcome back to my channel on this 1st of April, April Fool's Day. And today I'm doing, what is it, a response video or a tag video, whatever it is, when somebody does this set of questions and you submit your own as well. So this was submitted by my friend Tuco over at Wax Static. I'll link his channel below so you can check this out if you want to, but he did a April Fool's Day vinyl tag with 5 questions for 2021, and I am going to submit my Hawaiian record collection response to these questions, okay? First one, rarest record in your collection. So I'm not going to give April. I'm going to go straight forward with this question, which is I don't have it anymore because I sold it. Hawaiian records I don't sell. I mean, easy listening, it comes and goes and whatever, but the Hawaiian records are pretty stable. I never sell anything that's in my collection, and I did sell this one record. This is not the record, but it's by this person, Paul Page. It's called Hawaiian Honeymoon, and I was pursued relentlessly through messages and email to sell this record, and I just kept refusing because I just didn't want to sell it, and the price just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And when they got to $400 for a record that I know I paid $5 for, I thought, you know what, I think we can part with this record because I don't even think it's that great of a record anyway. But as it turns out, it was a person in Europe who was doing a reissue of Paul Page's, this artist's work. He did several albums, but this particular one, Hawaiian Honeymoon, just nobody has it. I appear to be the only person that has it, that had it, past tense. So they needed it to do the compilation of his work. They needed some tracks from that one. So yeah, I sold it for $400. Now, I do have 2 other ones in my possession that I know one, and I suspect the other one is very valuable, so that I currently have. And again, not interested in selling them, although I don't know. You never know. I don't know. This one, Eddie Suzuki, New Hawaii. This is from 73, early 70s or something. It's a gatefold. And this guy's kind of like was kind of a lounge singer, a composer really, but also sort of a lounge singer. And this record is very sought after. The average on Discogs it sells for is $107. The lowest was $70, and the highest it sold for was $411. I bought mine many years ago in the mid 80s. It was $3 at the record store, and it's not well produced. Like, the production should have been much better. It's kind of muddy and whatever. I don't know. I like it. It doesn't blow me away. So. But yeah, it has sold for $411. So now, if there are any people out there who are familiar with Eddie Suzuki and they know in Hawaii for some reason this record is super sought after and kind of groovy, and they're, I'm going to blow your mind right now because this is the only album he did. But guess what? There is another one that I don't think anybody knows about. I didn't know about it. I just found this yesterday, thrifting. Had no idea this record existed. It's a CD. It's like a private pressing for real, seriously. It's Eddie Suzuki, the Legacy Award Best Songwriter, composer of My Lele, Collector's Edition, the Legacy Award of 2007, given to Eddie Suzuki. These songs, I think Magic Mile of Waikiki is from that album, and I think all the other songs, they are new recordings or recordings that were done in 2007. Of course, he's much older, his voice not what it was, and there are some other performers on here too, but although they're not listed. This is literally a CDR. This is the release, though, was a CDR. because it's all sort of homemade like, but it's an actual release. It's not on Discogs. I've never heard about it, never seen it. Blew my mind when I found this yesterday. I have no idea how much this is worth, but I am going to put this puppy at least listed on Discogs so people know it exists or whatever, but I have no idea how many of these there are, but this has got to be worth something too. And it also is not that great. I mean, okay, and the other one, this might be also very valuable too, but I don't know. I entered it into, I think it was me that put it onto Discogs, and now there are a bunch of people that want it. The only time I've ever seen it is when I bought it many, many years ago, and it was $4 when I bought it. It's out of Massachusetts. Weirdest record in the world. It's called, I'm not even sure what it's called. Clayton Scott Kalakona Koka delights you with 6 faces of Hawaii plus 2. Okay? All original compositions, I don't know, there's a female singer, there's I think another male singer, I think there's like a couple of different guys and a female, and then they're not singing together, but they're doing different songs. Somebody's doing sort of an Elvis impression on some of these songs. Surf's Up at Waikiki, several songs called Hawaii Hula Wahine with a different name, like Hawaii Hula Wahine Beverly, Hawaii Hula Wahine Heavenly Mist. I don't understand it. I don't understand the pictures. I don't know. And again, it's another one I'm going to say it's weird. It's not good. Really? It's just very weird. And no one has sold one yet, so I have no idea how much it's worth, but I appear to be the only person that has one. So I don't know. Top comedy album is the second question. I don't really collect. There are Hawaiian comedy albums. I don't really collect them. But there is a musician, performer, singer, whatever, that did do quite a lot of comedy in her work, and I enjoy it, which is Hilo Hattie. Her actual name, Clara Inter, but she was known as Hilo Hattie. And she performed comic hulas that were sort of funny. And her songs, all of her albums, there's usually some talking where she interjects some very local Hawaiian kind of humor about traveling to different places and her impressions about people misunderstanding songs about, I don't know, it's great. I love the song Becky. I mean, Princess Pupule is really funny, but yeah, she does, to me, it's humorous. My guilty pleasure, or something that I'm a closet fan of, well, this will not come as a surprise to people that really know my musical taste or whatever with Hawaiian music, but there's one particular budget label group. I don't know who they are. I would love to find out who they were. I have no idea. Nobody seems to know. I think it will forever be lost to history. But there were several different budget label Hawaiian albums that, like, sessions with different musicians, unnamed, that or unknown, that came out on different editions. So budget labels would like just reissue it every year or twice a year with a different cover on it and give it a different name and call the musician something else, and then they would mix and match like 2 or 3 from this session and 3 or 4 from that session and chop them all up and put them on another album with a different name. So unless you were good at spotting them, you had no idea you were getting it until you got it home. And then if you already had one, you'd be like, hey, I have some of these, but they call it something else. But my favorite one is I refer to them as Luke Leilani. That's kind of the name I refer to them or knew them as. This is one of the earliest ones I had familiarity with it. But Luke Leilani, this particular set that you're hearing in the background of musicians, they basically took well-known songs like My Little Grass Shack and Little Brown Gal and Lovely Hula Hands and those kind of songs that were well known, and they did their own renditions of them, sometimes changing the bridge and jazzing them up, and so they somehow just call them something else. They never call them the actual titles and avoid the whole copyright thing. Steel guitar players that I've been in contact with or heard from detest these guys, don't like them, think it's choppy, don't like the playing. They don't like it. I love it so much. It puts me in such a good mood because these guys, to me, sounded like, okay, they're studio musicians, whatever, but they sounded like they were having fun to me. I mean, it's just bouncy and very joyful, and I love these Lou Leilani recordings, specifically the set that you're hearing in the background. Even better was that when the Ping Pong percussion records were popular, they took these recordings with this Lou Leilani people, and they stuck unrelated percussion intros onto these records that are not the Lou Leilani group. In fact, the Lou Leilani group has no percussion at all, so it's kind of funny. It's like you have this weird percussive introduction, and then there's no percussion whatsoever in the song. They called it Hawaiian Ping Pong Percussion, with a weird misspelling on the label. Instead of Lou Leilani, it was Luk Leilani. Even better if you can find this one. I love this because it's the bouncy, happy, crazy Hawaiian song with weird percussive introductions. I mean, there's a lot to hate here if you're like a serious music person, and if you're like me, there's so much to love here, so much. Show something that stinks. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant to do this, but I'm gonna go because I don't like to be seriously critical, but I'm gonna go ahead and put two up here. I can't decide which one is worse. I really can't decide. One is the Moms and Dads Blue Hawaii. Now this is a group of old people, 3 older men, 1 older lady, and I think they were intentionally sort of being campy, but it's the drums, a piano, an accordion, and a saxophone doing Hawaiian songs, and they're just actually not great. They were popular. I don't know why, but they were. But I think they suck. Yeah, for me, it's like at a point where I just can't even enjoy it as like kitschy. It's just bad. I don't like it. And here's another one that kind of ties with it. Although I have to say there were a couple of songs on this album that I did enjoy. They were kitschy enough that I enjoyed it, but overall, it's also really bad. Shirley Watts, steel guitar and accordions. This is steel guitar and accordions. This is from Australia. There's the lovely family there. Her steel guitar playing is fine. I question the addition of the accordions, like Hawaiian music and accordions, it's not a match, it's just not a match. Yeah. Honestly, I don't like it. I mean, there were a couple songs that were cute, but yeah, it's just weird. Finally, question number 5, show an album with a joke on it. So, I don't think this was intentionally a joke on the part of the record label, but it's a joke to me. It is a budget label Hawaiian record, Acorn. It's called Hawaiian Holiday by Lonnie Scott and Orchestra. Now, you might look at it and go, I don't get it. What's the joke, right? You might not get it. Hawaiian Holiday with Hawaiian songs. And these people are not Hawaiians. This outfit, this clothing, they are pretty obviously like French West Indian type of clothing that you might see like in Martinique or Guadeloupe or Haiti or someplace like that. Not in the Caribbean, not in Hawaii, not just the other side of the world, but I think it says on here too. Yeah, cover photo, courtesy of British West Indian Airways. So, you know, it's not Hawaii at all. And I'm sure some people don't realize it, but to me, it's like a joke. Like, are you kidding? It's like you're doing a record of, you know, a day in Paris, France, and you have a picture of Rio de Janeiro, you know, with the Sugarloaf Mountain, and it's like a wrong side of the world. Yeah. So to me, that's a joke. Okay, that's my tag video. I invite any of you record people out there to do this tag, also do this video. And once again, I'll have Wax Static linked below, and you can check his channel out. And thanks for doing it, coming up with the questions. That was fun to do. Little scary. I'm always really scary to say if something really stinks, you know, or give a bad review. I kind of won't say much of anything, but I think these two I'm pretty safe. I mean, I don't think Shirley Watts or the moms and dads are long gone. I don't think Shirley Watts is going to come after me. Besides, I said her steel playing was fine. It's the accordions I don't get. Right? So anyway, talk to you guys later. Have a good week. We'll see you in the next video.